lucky man. Got to be the leader of a reggae band.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Greetings. How are you all doing? Hoping that you all are having a fabuloso day. And welcome once again to Reasoning Thursday. Each and every Thursdays right here on DAPowerhouseRadio.com. Streaming live on the Victorious 89.1 FM platform. And also the YouTube You Choose radio platform. I want to say massive shouts to each and every one. Welcome. What a week. It's been a rainy week in Georgia. Nonetheless, God has to most definitely, water his plants that gives us life. Yeah, because without these trees and all these things, we don't have no oxygen. And yeah, so you know the thing, right? Yes. So welcome. Hot topics, hot reasoning topics. And we definitely invite you to invite a friend and a family member to come on over. Not sure what's going on with my camera, but everything is showing like it's on fire over here. But because it's hot. It's hot. Mama Asid Jai will be joining us momentarily. And we'll be going over our topics, our reasoning topics momentarily. Once after our panel introduces themselves and welcome you all to our program. So let's start from up at top, coming down to Darespecta.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom, that's it. All right.
Mute me. Unmute me.
Sorry.
Respect, friends and family, followers, supporters. Welcome. One love. We appreciate you.
All right. Michelle.
The mute.
Yes, hi.
All right. Queen.
Welcome again. Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
I didn't mind the rain because it washed some of that pollen away. Welcome.
Noni the juice.
Welcome, everyone, to Powerhouse Radio, Reasoning Thursdays. We look forward to all the topics being talked about tonight. Thank you, everyone who's listening, Facebook, YouTube, and all the other platforms. Welcome.
All right. Blessings to DJ VJ Smiles. Blessings to Ross Dougal. Blessings to Dr. J, Crew G, Blossom, the whole entire crew. What does it say? Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Don Minot, greetings to you. Don. Greetings, Sharon. Greetings to you. Big shouts go out to Permet and the crew out of Orlando, Florida. Big up. Thanks for checking in. And all over the world, want to say big shouts to you. Thanks for you all checking in as well. Well, let me go into this. Blessings to Vernon. How you doing? Big up to you, North Carolina. Greetings to you. Tennessee. Greetings to you. Well, greetings to each and every once again. Um, for joining us yet another reasoning Thursdays. Hot topics. We're going to dive on into the topics, dive on into those topics. Well, on our topic list, we have what's going on with the National Park Service. I want to them. That's we're going to find out I want to them. How about that? And do women do us women have a reason to be concerned? Um, yeah, I think we have a reason to be concerned with what happened recently in Georgia with the woman who had a miscarriage. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna reason on that. Texas, not joking. Texas definitely laying it down for the men. They're saying, okay, child support begins at conception. What's your thought on that? We're going to talk about that. Entertainment, a container of frozen chicken is what's is that a conspiracy? Is that leading into the bird flu? What about that? What about that? Huh? In your headlines, Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. Which side you on? We're going to talk about that. How about that? ICE detention. Is this a human rights issue? We're gonna reason. We're gonna reason on that. Yeah. Andrew, gonna say big ups to you. Boy, things getting done. Elections right around the corner. Big ups to you. Kentucky. What's going on? Is this a warning? Yeah, they put out a warning. We're gonna talk about that. New GOP budget. What's going on? Do we have concerns? Do we need to be concerned again? IRS, Medicaid, tariffs, all of that is in your headliners. Yeah. And what do you think about the clown parade? 47th clown parade. We got to talk about that. Yeah, you know I'm being evasive, but you're going to know what we're talking about just in a minute. Welcome. Immigration. Yeah, we're going to touch a little bit about that. But before we even go further into it, Mama Acid joined us. Mama Acid, you want to say greetings to the listeners? And then we have some listeners who said greetings to us.
Why not? Hey, listeners, I'm up here in the cold, freezing tornado north. And we got a lot of dirt going on. So we're going to bring it to you tonight because I'm sure everybody wants to hear about what tornado hit Michigan.
Lord have mercy. I heard it was cold up there the other day. I was like, what's going on? But anyway, blessings to you, Don. Don Minot says, blessings, everyone. Greetings.
Blessings,
And Myra says, blessings to all this evening. Greetings to you,
Bless.
Blessings.
Blessings, Myra.
This chef
Blessings.
says, blessed night to all. Greetings to you.
Blessings.
Greetings to you.
Blessing. Hi, Mischief.
Jennifer says, hello, ladies. Greetings. And you got a Jen on the panel here, Jen.
That's about the respecter.
Jennifer, blessings to you, man. We just want to welcome each and every one. If it's your first time joining us right here on Reasoning Thursdays, want to say big shouts to you and welcome. You have yours truly, Lady D. You have the Respecter. You have Noni the Juice. You have the Queen of all Queen. You got Michelle in the house, Mama Acid in the house, Jai in the house, and you, the listeners. You see the number right there. Yeah, when the lines become open, we're going to ask you all to call in and voice your opinion. Let us know what you're thinking about these topics. Now, I received an email from a listener, and I'm trying to find it for your question that you've had. And because sometimes we get so much mail in at one time. That's why I definitely say on the subject line, put Reasoning Thursday, so that way I could distinguish um, these emails. Our new website's going to be coming up where we should get some new emails and all of those stuff. So just bear with us while we regroup. All righty. But big things. National Park Service removes the photo of black abolitionist Harriet Tubman, right, from underground Atlanta, yeah, from the Underground Railroad webpage. You hear me, Underground Atlanta?
Mm.
We talking about freaking or something, but anyway, what's your thoughts on what's your thought on that? Miss Chief said, hey Shelly, so big up Shelly. Miss Chief is bigging
Hey,
you
Mischief.
up. All right, it's mischief. Okay, I'm here to say mischief. All right. Well, what's your thoughts on that? You wanna let's get the first man in the house opinion, and then we'll all of us ladies will touch it. What's your thought on removing Harriet Tubman from our first from the National Park Service? Let me unmute you. You know. All right, there you go. You're muted.
Madness.
Yeah.
It's madness. And when you start go on in society, every time they do something to one of us, we need to do back to them.
That's some strong words. What that's strong words. What do you mean do back to them? What we talking about?
They remove one of us, we need to remove one of them. So John Wayne, Reagan, done that line. You have to do the same thing to them that they're doing to us.
So wait a minute, but we don't have control of these stuff. So how are we gonna do back to them what they do to us?
Black
Explain.
officials,
Huh?
the black congressmen and senators, what's wrong? They can do it.
Listen. All right, all right.
But then
Who
free
else, who else want to chime in on this? Because I'm trying to flow with you, the respect on that one. I'm trying to flow with you.
You have to be
Oh,
realistic.
okay.
You have to be realistic. This was something this was something that was initiated by um, by the president and whoever else behind him. That's how it was initiated. Not just her, but many others was taken. I think last time we talked about the Triple 8 women and also with Jesse with the great the baseball great. They've been trying to do this, and remember they took Black History first out of the school. Most of the schools they took Black History out of it, and then now they're trying to destroy our history. We have to keep writing our congressmen. Yes, the respect to understand what you're saying, and if we could do that, I would suggest we do that, but we can't because this is something that has to go through a long process before it can be done. Like they did when they removed most of those old time statues that was up depicting racism. So they took those down. But it's not easy to do that and to get that done. So what we have to do is just keep writing our congressmen and what have you, and let them know how displeased we are about what is going on with our history and get involved. Us black folks, we talk, but we don't get involved. Like we talked about this before, we don't go to these meetings and we don't get involved. So that's why these things happen to us.
All right, we have mischief that says it all works, but I believe the continuation of erasure of our history is afoot. It is insidious and just another way to try to silence our power. All righty. Jennifer says hello, brother. Jennifer Washington says hello, brother. And also Mischief says black magic, black excellent, black thought, our generation, our generational wealth. in the form of financial, but also our historical wealth, narrative wealth, etc. Anyone else want to comment?
Yeah, I wanted to say, I understand with the respective. When you hear things like this, anything attacking on us, you feel like you want to lash out. And then, as Queenie was saying, as well, we want to do that, but also we can also come up with other ways to do it, like contacting our senator. But I just want to mention um, when you take off Harriet Tubman off the website, it's not just erasing Black history. That's one thing that they're doing. But remember, upstate New York, Harriet Tubman has a house, and it is a part of the national parks. It is a part of federal, so it's actually describing um, a monument or an area that is existing. It's not just history to put on the website for everyone to view. Is actually describing and speaking history or describing history about a national park, a federal property. So you know what I mean? It doesn't even make any sense. So it is actually they're representing something. So why would they do that? It doesn't even make sense.
All right.
And yeah,
Anyone
we
else
should be
have a
up in
thought?
arms about it. As Mischief said, yes, it's insidious.
All right. Anyone else have a thought? We have a caller. Kind of hold the line real quick for me.
Yeah, I think it's a disgrace. Like the comment was made about trying to erase history. This is a national monumental subject number one. I mean, this is part of history. This is part of our history, but it's also a part nationally, something that took place. So I am one. Um, there should be an outcry and an outrage for something like this, and
Mhm,
definitely organizing enough to get our voices heard. Because
mhm.
I am like Michelle, this is ridiculous.
It's definitely ridiculous. In our comments section, we have Donna says, "What's up? Greetings to you, Donna." DJ Charges says, "We need to use our little power and try to change the narrative." Carla, how you doing? We have a caller on the line. Okay. All righty. If you're calling and trying to listen in on the listening line from your telephones is 667-930-9036. That's 667-930-9036. You can listen to us live from your telephone. You won't miss any phone calls. And that's the number that you're trying to get in on. Jai Mama Acid. Jai got DC for some reason. I don't know. Mama Acid, you want to touch this one?
I just wanted to, if John wants to go first.
Nah, she's for some reason she got dropped, so she's gonna call back.
Okay. I just wanted to say that we're talking about what was done partially. We're not really talking about the reality of what was done. When this happened at the same time, they also changed the name on some military bases from the names of people who had previously been heroes in America, and the bases were changed to their names during the 1960s and 70s, not as a part of DEI, but as an award for their service. And Pete Hegseth went in and changed the names of the bases back to the names of the Confederate generals that he felt best deserved to be named for those particular bases. So when we're looking at elimination, we have to look all the way deep. We have to look down to why they're taking those names off. Why are they removing these people? They're removing these people because they're getting rid of history and education. They already started getting dismantling the Department of Education. Once you take away education, everyone is done. If people don't know their history, they don't know what happened before. That's the first step in authoritarianism. When you start going into a fascist system, you have to make people understand that they have to fear you because you have the power to erase them. Doge has gone into all of the accounting programs for the whole federal government. They have received carte blanche with no background checks to be able to erase our financial records or erase us as people. Most people don't understand that, but if they decide to erase your social security number, you as a person in America no longer exist. Your financial records are disappeared, which means that you can't be identified by the government. And that is part of the problem, is that we've gone to an identity standard that is controlled by an organization which is not being monitored.
All
So
right.
until we can take the control back in terms of independent monitoring and understand that the independent monitoring is really there for us to be able to know what is going on and to prevent things from just happening, like in the middle of the afternoon someone writing a executive order about the power of your shower head instead of handling the business necessary for getting someone who was illegally deported to another country, getting that handled because the Supreme Court has told you to, means that there's a misalignment of priorities. And until the Senate and Congress takes that to hand seriously, we're sitting around watching cocktail hour. And I, for one, will not watch my government dysfunction this way. I will complain every day on 5 calls, and I'm definitely using resist bot. So please, everyone, remember it is our government. We are the ones paying the taxes. So we need to have everybody understand that we all need to express our displeasure with what is and is not happening in our names right now.
All right.
Thank
Lovely Hip says,
you.
bless. Lovely Hip said, blessed night to everyone. And let me read this little snippet here in regards to the National Park Service removing um, the photo of Harriet Tubman. Now, they want us to know that it was removed on March 28th, but it has been replaced with a smaller Tubman. The irony, the the irony of this is it has been replaced with a smaller Tubman photo that included white abolitionist Catherine Coffin and Thomas Garrett. And even the quote where she has, I was the conductor of the Underground Railroad for 8 years, and I can say that, and I can say what most conductors can't say. I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger. That was also removed as well. So instead, the new webpage pointed out that the Underground Railroad bridged the divides of race, religion, sectional differences, and nationality. The NPS and the Trump administration declined requests for comments. All righty. Comment by Mischief. The new regime is hard at work, and people need to, one, learn politics, two, become a part of upending this system in a substantial way, and three, learn and amplify true history. DJ Charges says smaller one. Oh no, correct. They put one, a smaller one, but with this smaller one, they included two white individuals in that photo.
What?
Yeah, so they want us to know that, oh, we didn't remove it. We just added two other persons to it.
Mhm.
What type of representation is that?
All right. So I mean, I understand where Queen and the Respecter, I'm gonna let you jump in. I understand what you're all saying about in regards to senators and all of these things, but isn't it the same senators that allowed this to be happening anyway? Did they even care about the seats that they had when they agreed to basically all of this madness when they agreed to it. Caller,
Hello.
yes, caller.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, lady. How you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to hear you. Lady D, when I didn't, this is the first time I'm hearing that they removed Harriet Tubman. Where did they move her from? Her image.
It was removed from the National Park Service, the National Park Services (NPS). They
Okay.
removed
And
her photo, the black from their Underground Railroad webpage.
along with her very powerful statement, and then
Statement.
they added two other people to it. They're trying to overshadow her image and her the power
Yeah.
and the activation that people get when they see her.
Yes.
And I think they're absolutely trying to dim it, but it's not secretive anymore. It's not kind of that quiet type of thing. It's very much in your face, and they don't care about anything that we're saying or doing. So I'm really nervous about like what the next step is.
Yeah.
But I had a really weird thought earlier, and I was so nervous about it. I was thinking, what if this man, Trump, what if he really does not care? And not even, forgive me, you guys. Forgive how I might express myself, please. But what if he already knows the backlash? He knows the reaction that's going to happen. What if he's selling America and leaving, but also leaving certain places open so that we can be taken over by others? And just he's like acting like he doesn't know when he's answering these questions.
Yeah. My question last week was, is this Make America Great Again? What are we going backwards to?
Well, it depends on which Americans and what perspective would be great. I think powerful Black people are very, very, very threatening to some individuals. So when we're hearing Make America Great Again and we're seeing all these changes happening and you're seeing the glee in some of these people's faces, it really makes it clear how they've always felt. All of that that secret resent that they've always had in the first place. Now they get to show it, and they look like they have like a big backup,
Yeah.
I'm saying all this stuff, and as I'm sharing this stuff and I'm listening to what you guys are saying, I'm genuinely terrified about what's happening, and I really don't know what to do. And I don't know how to not lash out at all the people that I see that don't look like me and my aunt.
And we have to all, when we even think on that avenue, I would even say that you have the good, the bad, and the indifference in every race. So I wouldn't necessarily generalize all individuals. But just be aware, where do we go from here? I would say be prepared, know your surroundings, know what's,
I hear you. And I think it's a good idea not to generalize it, but I think right now, as these extreme things are happening, we cannot ignore the silence that is consent. Okay?
It is.
I'm not saying to be so extreme, but I think we need to start to really, really look at who's not saying anything and who's not, the people who are not uncomfortable by what's happening because it's not affecting them yet.
And that's
anyway,
something.
I know I took up some of your time.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much for
Always
having
welcome.
me. I might call back if you say another subject.
Always welcome. Always welcome. Lines
All right. Have a wonderful night. Bye, everyone.
Blessed.
You too. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was as what the caller was saying, as Delina, what the caller she was saying, this is terrifying. As everything unfolds and things are happening, it's terrifying. And sometimes when you see some of your representatives not standing up for you and they're voting against your wishes, you're wondering what is happening and where's your power, And one of the things we have is the boycott, So that's one, but
yeah. Before anyone else touches, let me read these comments, and then Mama Acid Queen, the Respecta, you want to address what the caller says. DJ Charger says we are on the defense with our feelings until it's time to vote for another president of America. Mischief said he sure loves his 1700 laws. Yeah.
People that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. That is a quote from a very famous historian, and those who don't remember who said it, I'm not going to tell you because I think if you don't know what I said, you should take some time and look that up because you can Google it word for word. It will tell you. And in addition to that, just one little small thing. The caller is right. It's terrifying, but you know what? It should have been more terrifying in October. It should have been more terrifying in the beginning of November, where you should have addressed the people around you who you knew were going to cause this to happen and did something about it. But let me also say that it doesn't matter what we all did in terms of voting. None of our real votes were counted because there has been an investigation into what happened. No, it's not on the table. No, it's not included in our transcript tonight. So you're going to have to come back 2 weeks from now for me to tell you what the report says because I have a copy of it. And yes, Starlink is running the White House right now. For those who doubted it when I said it the first time, go Google it since you all like Google so much.
All right, go ahead, Darespecta.
Yeah, the young lady is right. And I look at two things. Crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Two black men. They tied us, white men. Praising white men. Those are part now. They took two white persons to silence, hoping to silence us. The trick, you have to pay attention to what they're doing, but they think they're smart enough. They did that, thinking that some spirit is going to keep us afraid and silent. The way I'm seeing it, we can't judge our white folks the same, but we have to be mindful the moment we leave our home, step out of our car, that the next white person that step to us disrespectfully, we can't hold back. Let it be what it be. It's not going to stop until we realize that all it takes is for us to stop them in their tracks. We have to do it for the next generation to be less at risk. We, the older heads, have to step forward. What I've done recently, not me, because I'm about respect. That's not to say good morning to people that don't look like me. So now when I say good morning to someone that don't look like me, or hey, what's up? And they look and ignore me, as low as I can. F you.
Well, why even address it?
F you.
But why even address it? If they don't want to say hello,
No.
they just don't say hello. You just keep it rolling.
So they know going forward, next time they hear someone of color say something nice to them, they will think about her guy.
The respect, I don't know about that because we hear when you do things when we do stuff like that doors for major conflict that may not even be necessary for that type of conflict.
Hundreds of years.
Listen, wait a minute, because you also have black persons whom you may say good morning to, and they don't. A lot in the South. I'm going up to north, and no disrespect to all of my up north folks that definitely are listening in, but there were times when I go up to the north and visit family, etc., and I'm walking on the street, and because I came here into the southern atmosphere, and we're walking past someone, we immediately say good morning. And there were individuals who looked at me like I was half crazy, my own melanated folks. And I have to say, oh no, I'm not crazy. I don't mean nothing right. I'm just, greeting you good morning. So I don't think everything necessarily has to be confrontational.
It's not everything.
In regards to, because you don't say good morning, it's an automatic fu, because then it's going to lead to them saying something else, and then you're going back, and then they come back, and it starts this this thing that don't even need to happen.
I'm not taking it.
Right. See, Myra says, you said hello. If they don't speak, that's on them. Okay, keep it moving. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I would say too.
Keep it moving.
Yeah,
Go
that's what I would say too. I mean, if everybody confronts, then what will happen? There'll be a chaos and war and wars and rumors of wars. It's already going on. Why make it worse? We're trying to quench all this hostility and all that is going on out there. And if we project hostility also, then it's only going to escalate things and it's not going to solve the situation or make it better.
right.
We need to find a common ground. We need to find a way where people can express themselves rationally. You know what I mean? And understand that we need to respect each other regardless of your race or creed. And that's what's needed out there. And how do we accomplish that? That is the question. How do we accomplish that? Not just we used to say, oh, black people can't come together, but it's not black people, it's all race. How can all race come together as one? They beating up the Chinese. I'm hearing report that they beating up the Chinese out there because of what's going on. I mean, why be so hostile? Let's work together. Let's try and solve this.
I kind of feel like
And violence is not gonna quench
I
it.
just
Mm-mm.
I kind of feel like this DEI thing is a way to divide and to make us hate each other and just carry on um
Mm.
in a negative. So I just feel like we need to hold our heads and just approach things as peacefully as we can. If someone comes at you hostile, then I understand that you're going to defend yourself at that time. But
Right.
for a simple not hello, I don't think it's something where you have to generate hostility.
It's not that drastic. Yeah. It's
The
not that.
respect, you want to finish your thought, then we're gonna move on. Go ahead.
it's not just that lady. It's not based on just hello. It's everything in general. I mean, recently a woman called the police, black woman called the police on a white neighbor because he's playing the music loud. They ignored. She said her alarm, car alarm to disturb him. He called on her. Police came into her home, arrested. If we don't stand against them, confront them, we have to be violent. We've been quiet for too long. We cannot continue being peaceful and
I
ignoring,
see. You
ignoring.
know, Don Mine always say something when he calls in regards to the same non-peaceful way. And
No,
there's a lot of things that occurred peacefully
peaceful for too
that
long.
had brought that had caused results. Rosa Parks is an example, even boycotting the bus. I mean, we need to do peaceful things. And it doesn't, Don always keeps saying when he calls in, um, we can't win. We don't have the numbers.
Don't
Maybe,
wait for the
maybe
call.
strategically, we make it strategically after we make a strategy or something, then maybe we can win. But I don't like the preaching of that, the respect, to be honest. I don't like the preaching of everything has to be violent.
Everything that have to be violent, Lady D. We
I don't like
have to
that.
defend ourselves.
Okay. Huh?
We have to we have to start defending ourselves.
When it's necessary, but not from a good morning. when is it necessary? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we talk about preparing ourselves just like they're preparing themselves by harming themselves and getting going to the range like lady said several episodes she tells you go to the range, practice, shooting the arm, not just bite and sit it down, but go and practice how to use it correctly. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Things of that nature.
yeah.
Prepare yourself, get all the materials you need, stockpile like lady said again, stockpile things in your garage, your closet, what have you, so that if something happened, then you're prepared. But right now, let's not even dwell on those things. Let's think positive. Let's try and do,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes when you do good things, people follow it. So I'm
Miss
just
Chick
for
says
other
we have
ways.
the numbers, not the unity. Great. That's a great way to put it, Miss Chick. Blessings to you. That's a great way to put it. Well, let's move on.
Mhm,
Because this is something that will be on all night. All right. Is
mhm.
us women being targeted? We already been targeted with Roe versus Wade. But there was a Georgia woman who miscarried, and she had to spend 2 nights in jail, and the judge thought to dismiss it. She had a miscarriage, and it stated that after 6 weeks of gestation, a fetus is considered now to be a person. So if you're having a miscarriage, they can possibly use that against you in the court of law. I'm bringing that up. That was a topic that was submitted by Karen, and I sent it over to the group. And Karen is out of North Carolina, so big up yourself. What's your thought on the any of the listening panel, or even the callers, the listeners? What's y'all thought on that? Going to this individual, and I'm trying to find the what was said to me in regards to it. Um, Mama Acid, you want to address that?
I don't think I should. I think I should stay away from that.
You want to stay away from that one? All right.
Too
Uh,
triggering me. It makes me angry, and I don't want to start screaming.
no, I don't want you to start screaming. Definitely not.
Mhm.
Michelle or Queen? No
Yes,
need.
I
I
was
can
thinking,
chime in.
Go ahead, Michelle, and then no need to
So,
juice.
all right. So it's so much going on. First, we talk about a woman going through a traumatic experience. So there's no care to what her body's going through. There's no care to her emotions. It's these lawmakers, which are, and we don't say color, but it's mostly white older males, and they want control over everything. They want control over what women vote. Now they want control over. They've always want control over our bodies, what we do. That is a natural process, and they don't even want to take the time to even understand what's happening. They just want this is what we say, and this is what's going to happen. That is a traumatic experience for a woman,
Yeah.
and there's no understanding of that. And then not only are you accusing her that it's her fault. Now you're taking her and you're putting her into prison. And you know that they were also looking into if a woman miscarries and they suspect that she had some type of abortion or forced the fetus to come out of her, that or the supposed the pre-baby to come out of her, that they wanted to have possibly death penalty. This is out of control. And that's why leave us alone. There's so much laws, there's so much things happening in this country with crime, and you want to pick at a woman miscarrying, not just an abortion, miscarrying. That's
It's
a natural. So yes, it's frustrating, it's angry, and leave us alone.
yeah.
Mind your business. You have so much other things. You're not even a woman. There's
Yep.
so much other things to focus on. Leave us alone.
It's
And
called
it's sad. Go in jail too? Come
it's
on, man.
called Georgia Fetal Personhood Law, and what they're saying is that I'm here trying to read it. Lost is abortion ban in effect in about it's it and this law is in effect in half of U.S. states. All right, and the advocate says more arrests is going to be made related to pregnancy, rather in cases of miscarriage or abortion. All right. They said this case impacted the young woman from Tifton, but it also impacts every single woman out there of reproductive age who knows she can get pregnant, who knows she can miscarry. Georgia State Senator Sally Harrell says it makes every woman of reproductive age afraid. All right. So far, there's been 203 arrests based off of some pregnancy issue since the Roe versus Wade has been overturned. Once again, what is our senators and all of these people doing to combat this and to help the women? And I hear you, Michelle, and I hear the passion in you over that. And Miss Chief says our reproductive rights have been on the chopping block since the slave days. Then birth control, like Depo-Provera, that we know causes disease like cancer, yet are
Mhm.
pushed on us particularly. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It has been on the chopping block, but this is even we haven't been jailed for using birth control like Depo-Provera or any of the other things, but you're suffering a miscarriage.
and sorry, Diana, I
Yeah,
just wanted
that's
to
my
ask you
thing.
guys.
That's my
Oh,
thing too.
okay.
I'm like Michelle. It's traumatic enough, but you know what I think
Yes.
about women being arrested for something as such as this is the
Mhm.
fact that I mean it's not enough that our men are being incarcerated for Lord knows what innocent, and this to me is innocence and
Mhm.
just finding a way to lock up more of us, and now the women are being locked up. This
Yeah.
is
And
outrageous.
and what about her partner? She didn't have the baby by herself.
So
It
what
just
is it?
focusing
They're
on
trying to
women.
destroy the black family. It comes back down to that. So,
From the
is
core,
someone
yeah.
deliberately trying to destroy the black family, or do they want to take us back to slavery days when they're in control of us?
I
What is
I
it?
think. Sorry, Queenie. I'm sorry. You're still saying something. I don't
Go
want to.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was
Go ahead.
saying it's not just to destroy the black family only, but if
Mm,
you know also what they talk about, I'm sure you guys have heard about the white population declining, and in the next couple of years is going to be the Latino race will be they'll be more the highest populated, so they will be the
mhm.
majority, and the white population race has been dropping, so this is their way, this is another way to look at it, this is their way also to ensure that their community still has a hold on the population. So
Aren't we already the minority? Isn't that how it
but the
goes?
Latino is not.
Minority. Um, to the Latinos, I think isn't they consider the Latinos already the minority?
Yeah, but they said like what 2030, or there's a date where they're going to be the majority.
Okay, okay. I'm going to touch these questions, well, these comments here. Delaney says maybe he means it in a figurative way, like forget them then. Um, that's for you, the respecter. Mischief says our reproductive rights have been on the. Okay, I think I read that one already. And
Yeah.
Mischief also said we may not have been jailed, but our rights were taken away, tested without permission, killed. And Delaney says that's insane. Yeah,
Delina.
Delina, sorry about that. Delina
It's
says
okay.
that's insane. Okay, but we may not have been jailed, but our rights taken away. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to address that, mischief, because in regards to our rights, how was our rights taken away? A lot of us went in there and got the Depo-Provera ourselves. A lot of us go in there each and every day and take birth control ourselves. because our mind tells us we can't afford to have children right now. We don't have men in our lives who is supportive with us having children. So a lot of Black persons have chose the thought of going and getting birth control versus getting pregnant. So I'm not sure in regards to the rights taken away as to birth control, such as Depo-Provera and stuff like that. I think that was a woman choice. No one forced them um, to have to go and to get birth control. She says, Mischief says, I mean, as far as knowing what it might do to us. Also, it was already documented that it shouldn't be given because of the effects. Yeah, and I don't know if a lot of us as melanated skin women go over and read, you know, even some of these medications that we're taking for high blood pressure, all of these things that we're taking. If we go and read the, um, excuse my train of thought, but if we go and read the pros and the cons of what these side effects, etc., to what these drugs may do. So I don't think it's just even about birth control. With all the drugs that we take, we need to read about it and get some understanding of what we're taking. Um, but once again, I still don't think it's forced. Yeah, they would say, okay, as far as birth control, I think it's a conscious decision that one makes. But some of these alternative medicines, such for blood pressure, etc., I think we need as people to go in and to research them and find natural ways to help lower our blood pressure, lower our diabetes, change of diet, and all of these things. Because some of these medicines that we're getting, it deals with one thing, but then it affects another thing. All right. Mischief says, we know now because it's been made more public now, but history shows we were offered it at almost an 80% higher rate than white women. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And then again, that brings us back, and then the respecter can go, and then someone else can chime in. But then that also brings us back to black versus if we're putting black people on to white black women onto white women. A lot of black women did once again don't have that partner stability, financial stability, and things such as, so we gravitated, I feel we gravitated more to ways of not having our children. They took the men out the house, with welfare and all of these things. So we didn't have that support. Whereas the white women did have that support. They had the financial support. They had the partner support. So they weren't really
And
looking
the generational wealth, right?
at generational wealth. So they weren't in the same situation as we were as melanated skinned women to say, okay, we're not even going to look at birth control. That's just my thought on it. Go ahead, the respecter.
You know what I did as a man who cares about his woman?
Mhm.
I had first three boys, then the last one was a girl. That was enough for me. I was satisfied. I didn't I didn't suggest for her to tie her through. I decided to tie mine, cut mine. I did this operation, the minister.
Respecter, you're breaking up a lot.
I chose to end production. I didn't rely on my woman to go ahead and tie that through. I didn't want any more. Three boys and a girl. I'm satisfied. If a man would stop and think and say, okay, this woman been through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many kids do you really need in life? The woman is not saying no enough. Every time some woman lay down with her man, it's a child. She don't have no time to live, breathe, enjoy her life at some point. And now the younger generation got to go through what they're going through, younger women going through what they're going through because of miscarriage. The doctors and nurses who are reporting those situations, they need to smack up their head. I mean, how much longer do we're going to be peaceful and carry on, allow them to do what they want to do to us? Our woman is going through a lot, and now they're adding more to it.
And that's based off of the Roe versus Wade and what the laws are. You know, these are in the law that when certain things are going on, they're going to arrest women.
But some laws because we're allowed to be law.
We didn't allow it to law. It's whom we put into office that allowed these laws. So therefore, we need to check upon and as I preach and myself, Queen, Mama Asta, we've been preaching these things for the last 20 years. You all need, our listeners need to go in and vote for your local offices. It starts from the local level. You know, millions upon millions of people go in and they go vote when it's time to vote for a president and bypass the time when it's important. You all just don't go, and because you see the signs on the side of the street and those people names are the ones that are in your head because you see these signs on the street. We need to research. We need to start to research from now. Just don't wait till when it is election. Their names are on those ballots way before. We need to go in and research what these people are bringing to the table and don't vote for them. So in some ways, yeah, like you said, we are the one who put into these laws because the majority is not going in and voting for the right people to put in these seats. That the same people that have the mindset as we do to go and sit in these seats, you know, and carry out what it's just like even the electoral votes. All of those starts from the bottom levels. And if we're not going out and voting and putting the correct people in the seats, we're going to get outcomes such as what we've gotten.
We'll never know who the correct person is. We'll never know who is correct, who is right, who's honest. We'll never know that.
Okay, Delana says, but some minors were given the depot shot too without their parents' consent. And those were the parents, Delana, that needed to go and sue the government. They needed to go and sue the government because they're dealing with minors. And that's it. We have an issue of letting sleeping dogs lie and don't get up and make noise out there. Someone, if first of all, it was even, I have a thing that I put in our WhatsApp group that's telling that we need to educate our children on not speaking, especially our minor children, on not speaking to people of authority. Ask them, say, please call my parents. I choose to remain silent until my parents. We're not teaching our children and we're not defending our children, I feel, as much as we need to. We wait until, now to say stuff. We need to say it then when it's happening.
Yeah.
Who's going to give my kid a depot shot and I'm not raising Cain?
Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted to say, first of all, I want to say power to you, Darespecta, for you to take it upon yourself with your partner, for you to be the one to do the surgery instead of your partner, where it's more easier and faster for you to heal compared to her. So more power to you, and also respect to you that you acknowledge, I have what I need. This is what I can afford, and I want to give them the best life. So I stop here. I give you so much respect for that, That's one. And another thing, like what you said, you know, Diana, Lady D, when you talk about children getting these Depo-Provera shots without parents' consent, you're right. Our children do. We need to teach our children to speak up. But there's also children who are ward of the state, where you've given up kind of your parental right because you were not able to raise your child a certain way, or they decided to find reasons why they want to take your child, and now your child's in the custody and you're ward of the state. So this is where they make decisions about your child, what they think is needed to be done. That's probably could be just another way where it could happen, where your child can get a shot or something, and you may not have knowledge of it.
Yeah. Radio.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, good night, all. Donna.
Greetings, Donna.
Good night. It's Donna.
We're hearing you. Are you hearing us?
Greetings, all.
Okay, we have Miss Chief that says plus 1,000 to self-advocating, educating, knowing your rights. And also Miss Chief says 1+1 on that, Michelle. That's what my power arm emoji was for. Yeah. Man, I'm loving these comments that are coming in. It's great. It's great reasoning comments coming back. In lieu of that, what about what's your thoughts on the Texas passed the law or a bill that makes male now responsible for paying child support once a child is conceived? Anybody want to touch that one? John thought that was but I don't know.
Do we have we got the jacket song? Okay. Let's ask the Respecter to respond to that one first, please, because he has a clean plate, and I think he could be honest.
The Respecter just gave us a thumbs up on that one. What you think on that one, the Respecter?
It should come naturally. If he's a real man, it should come.
Yeah.
That's right. Because we've had this discussion about owning up to your sperm for a long time. And it's always that women are accused of being bad dressmakers. Oh, sorry, bad tailors. We make bad suits and jackets. So personally, I don't sew for men anymore. I decided I'm going to buy all my clothes. That way, nobody knows who made them. And if we're smart, that's what we'll always do from now on.
Mischief says with DNA testing to confirm first. That is a big thing, Mischief.
Ooh, exactly.
Because all of this jacket business and this divorce court business.
Hello.
I've been bitching on paternity court from the other day. And I'm like, there's a lot of jackets out there. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, Mischief, with DNA. And I think we had that question before from one of our listeners. Mischief said, what happens in non-consensual cases? That's a question too.
Oh, that's another one.
What happens? You know, we had a question as to the DNA tested. Should children be tested at birth? I don't know, Queen Mama asked Noni the juice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
For DNA.
I, as Mischief asked that question, and everybody's agreeing that they should be tested at birth. Okay, yeah, as you said, birth, yes. I was just thinking about in utero. Utero, no.
But in the deal, you should not have to give that test to the courts, the police, or anyone else. And no one else should have a copy of the result. The parents themselves should be the only people to get a copy of it, and it should be used in the event of any of these custody issues arising so that it can be
I
quick and clean.
Well, see, if you
I
pay
agree
for
with
it,
that.
then because the other a little while back, I went through something like that, and what happened is that if you do it yourself and pay for it, then they won't have records of it. But if it's taken to court, if it's something that is taken to court and it's going through the court system, then they have a copy of it.
Okay.
But do you all think that
But that's in a dispute. Private matters, if it's sorted out by an attorney and a mediator. Let me tell you that we have these things that happen in other places, and I can tell you that I know personally. I'm not going to reveal how, but I will say that I know that the parents can agree to take the kid and have a DNA test done. All three of them get it done at the same time on camera.
Yeah.
When the results are returned to the attorney then can either say to the parents, we got a match, and we're going to sort out an agreement if the parents agree to it. But if one of the parents decides they're not going to agree to it, even though they have the scientific proof, then there should be no argument about going to court. Just go to the court with the proof and say, this is how much we want to sue for at this moment, and do a civil suit. Because I'm going to be honest and say that I don't like the family court system. I don't like how it handles children. I don't like how it handles parents. I don't like how it handles mothers. I don't like how it handles fathers. I don't like how it functions because it turns everyone into a criminal. And we need to decriminalize families. So if we could get everyone on the same page where you put the truth on the table, let's just go ahead and make it easy for everyone so that the child actually has a fair chance, because the child is the one that we should be concerned about. The parents assume too much in sense of this should be about me and my reputation. Well, you know what? When you laid down, you took your reputation off. It was your choice.
well we
So
have
now we have the proof that you laid down. So why are you upset? Let the truth stand for itself.
well let's touch this real quick and then we move on. Miss Chick says, what happens in non-consensual cases?
Yeah. That's that's another question. That's
That's a
another
quiet one,
that's
huh?
another
Okay,
question.
when she answers, I want to go after her. I got something real ugly to say.
But you know what I wanted to mention, when we talk, if the father has to pay for the child in utero, so while the child is not born yet, right, still in utero, um
Mm.
and you're talking about DNA testing. So as a father giving money, is that money put into escrow until the child is born where you can do the DNA test? Because it can be somewhat dangerous to do the DNA test while the child is in utero. Sometimes the damage to the placenta, things like that. So what is it? Should the money go into escrow, even though the mother's going to need it? Like, just to think about, I'm just throwing that out there. How would that work?
I guess we'll get some more information on that. Jai was bringing that to the table. Um, Jai had brought that one to the table and didn't forward the full article to us in regards to that, because those are some questions, Michelle. What happened? Because we're talking about from conception. So are we saying that once the child is born, we do the DNA test and then we have to retro act the money from back then? Are we putting the money in an escrow? What exactly are they going to do? Go ahead.
Exactly.
And to Mama Acid, Miss Chief says amen. Oh, she said amen, Burke. Alrighty, so
Do we remember 18 years ago when Scary Spice kicked out Eddie Murphy Jr. baby? And Eddie Murphy said it was not his baby. I have never been in the closet with that woman. I couldn't tell you if she wore a jacket or a dress. Then the court said, well, sir, if that's the case, then you should not have a problem spitting in this little jar right here. And Eddie Murphy had a problem with it. So Eddie Murphy was married at that point to Nicole, and he decided he was going to get a divorce because this was ruining his life and his career. So Scary Spice told him, no problem. If you want to make an agreement and do a custody agreement, we can do that. And Eddie Murphy and Scary Spice went to a lawyer in London and they drew up a custody agreement after Scary Spice said, you don't trust me? Go take the test. And when the baby was born, they tested the baby right from the placenta blood from directly from the cord. Eddie Murphy was there when the baby was born, even though he didn't want nobody to know. They froze the placenta, and when they went to get the custody agreement, they reminded Mr. Eddie Murphy Jr. that his placenta blood was still cryo frozen if they needed to have a discussion. And at that point, Mr. Eddie Murphy decided he was going to sign the papers. And little baby Eddie Murphy Jr., she has been well provided for her whole life. And she is now 18 years old.
Okay, it says here the Texas Senate passed okay, we did a controversial. Well,
So why should Scary Spice have to do this to freeze her placenta blood in order to prove that this was the baby he laid down and made because he wanted to make her a seamstress, which she was clearly a singer.
You needed to prove.
She was a singer. She sang. That's what she was professionally. She's still a singer. Eddie Murphy's still a comedian.
And
he's also a liar and a hoe.
Okay. And if they produce the child together, whatever is needed to be done to prove that this is whoever kid, it's needed.
Well, she said she didn't have any more, and that she wasn't planning on having any. And Eddie Murphy told her, "Don't worry about it," because she was like, "Nope, I don't want to have no kids." And he was like, "Okay." So he denied when Miss Lady said, "What about those situations?" That is that situation.
I think that's something totally different from non-consensual cases.
Are you guys hearing an echo like in the phone?
I had to block off the respecter, but I think that is totally different from non-consensual cases, Mama Acid. All right, those are two consenting adults who did whatever they did and decided to freeze whatever they decided to freeze, and if it came back and bit them in the rear, then it came back and bit them in the rear. That's just my outlook on it. But in regards to your question, Michelle, as to the financial, they're saying that this recognizes that responsibility that the mom is bearing does not begin at birth, but starts months before that. Hughes said on the Senate floor, he pointed out the prenatal medical expenses and the overall financial burden shouldered during pregnancy, that this makes sure that the mother is taking care of prenatal care and postnatal care. So the bill would expand Texas' current child support laws to include retroactive payments covering the period between conception and birth. This adds ongoing debate over reproductive rights, paternal accountability, and what it truly means to support a child. So I think that answered, may have answered your question in regards to, if there is a fund.
plan.
I don't think there's any fund or anything, but what they do is once the child is born, all of the prenatal costs, all of those other costs are figured in, whatever
Okay.
whatever they need to have figured in. Mischief says, have a great rest of the eve. I'll have to run. Been an insightful chat. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. It's
Yes, it was
9:23.
nice. Bye.
Want to say blessings once again to Victorious 89.1 FM. Also, you choose radio. Want to say massive shouts go out to you as well. Let's just jump. Let's just dive into one and two important. Not that everything is important, but stock market and tariff. I don't know if we need to go there tonight because that's
How about them chicken? How about the chicken that wash up?
the chicken that's washing up in Jamaica. We're going to dive over to Jamaica. Before we go to Jamaica, what do you all think about this $92 billion parade? I don't know if it's a sham. I don't know if it's something that is truthful. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, 47 wants to have this $92 million military parade for his birthday. And it will be funded by who? The taxpayers, the citizens. 92 million. And they want to cut Social Security and Medicare, all of these things. Come on. That should not even have, that shouldn't even be considered. And what is he doing for us in these 3 months? Come on. We're on 3 months. Oh,
He spending $3 million every time he goes to golf, and he's golfed at least once or twice a week since he's been in for the 70 days.
It's horrible.
If Congress passed something of that nature, then that exposes everything, and shows you that he is the commander and the chief. But that's crazy. Like we all say, that's crazy. I mean,
I don't think I'm wondering if it's just something that was thrown out there for fun. We'll sit and we'll watch and see if this is something that really happens. 92 billion with the deficit that we're in. I just don't. If Senate even allows for this to take place, then
well, remember Putin did that a couple of months back, like in January or so. Remember when he was showing off his army and all of that stuff? He did it, so I guess you want to follow him.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he's a copycat.
Delina says, good night, everyone. I enjoyed discussing these topics with you all and hearing everyone's perspective. Blessings to you and thank you as well.
Blessings, good night.
Blessings. Thank you for joining us, Delina Smith.
Thank you for joining us, Delina.
Yeah.
So last time he was in office, he wanted to have one of these big military parades too, and they had to have some discussions with the city planners of DC and also with the National Park Service because this military equipment is very heavy and it would damage the city infrastructure because they don't have the type of roads that can handle this type of weight. So that's been a big problem. And then also the fact that his donors want to raise money to pay for the parade says more than anything because there was a huge discussion about a birthday gift that is just scary. And apparently, Elon Musk was involved in the discussion and they told him to shut up. And that was apparently the last time he was seen on Pennsylvania Avenue. So, I think it's people with more money that are getting his attention and they're telling him, go ahead and spend money any way you want to. Pete Hegseth is drunk. They're, using Signal instead of using a skiff. They're sending people out of the country because they don't know who's who. They fired all the people who were researching at HHS, and now they're trying to rehire them. And a lot of them have gone to European research firms as well. They funded all the research that was being done at major universities around the country. And they don't know what to do because they left all these things wide open. And when you leave this type of research wide open, it creates problems. They also have disposed of a lot of things that they did the same thing in the first administration when they got rid of the stockpile that was compiled by Obama and his predecessor for any type of a doomsday scenario. So they're getting rid of these things and they are doing it in the most unbelievable way, which is by burning them. So we have to remember that they're also crushing vials of vaccines that would have been sent overseas in the USAID program. The USAID program being defunded also defunded a lot of food pantries in this country that were actually a part of USAID because they relied upon food that came from the farmers. And USAID used to buy a lot of crops from a lot of the farmers through the subsidy program through the Department of Agriculture. And since they defunded that, now they also don't have that surplus and they don't have that food and they have the problem of the farmers now having all these crops that they can't pick, and that is going to cause a huge jump in food prices, especially since now there is a 145% tariff on anything from China, and apparently they are now trying to figure out if they can actually back it up to Monday.
But I thought they had the tariff was on hold for 90 days. That he
No, not
said he
China.
put it on hold for
China
90 days.
China is on, and they are trying to rush to different warehouses and count things that came from China so they can impose grandfather tariffs. Back to Monday.
Okay, well, this is going to
Because
be
they were saying that even though he put that 90-day stop on it,
Only for the
still the stock
Europeans and
market,
Canada.
still the
Only
stock
for the
market
Europeans and
still went
Canada.
down. Yeah, they said still the stock market still fell, even though he did that. So that shows that it's not gonna be easy for him to bring the economy back that easily as he had put out and pointed out there.
He
That's what
wasn't
would
trying to
happen.
restore the economy. He was trying to do an economic run on the stock market by forcing everything to the bottom so that while he was in office, he could do illegal stock trading, which is what they locked Martha Stewart up for. So he went in and bought everything when it was cheap. Him and all of the legislators, like MTG, we won't call names, they bought all of this for cheap, which is insider trading. And then after he decided to not install the tariffs, then things started slowly trying to creep back up. That is what you call market price fixing, and it is totally illegal across the world. I don't care who you are or how you do it, it's going to catch them. Trust me.
Well, I know that we said we're going to go a little bit more into tariffs and all of these things for next week because it's a very deep topic right now in regards to tariffs for the Caribbean, the tariff for China, tariffs for Canada, Mexico, and what exactly are we going to do? What not that we could do anything about these tariffs, but I mean with our own selves. Are we going to start to raise our own chickens? Are we going to start really doing our own gardening, vegetables? As I, encourage a lot of the listeners to make sure that you all go on and do your own gardening.
Yes.
But what about raising our own animals at this point? Because I don't know what's going to happen within the food chain. Because we do get a lot of our foods from different parts, different countries. So looking at to see what exactly the repercussions are going to be for the American people here. So next week we'll get into it a little bit deeper. So let's dive into the container of frozen chicken washed up on the shore in Jamaica.
I mean,
Y'all
that
thoughts
was
on
that's so. Mm.
the container full of non-frozen chicken because they weren't even frozen. Do you all think that that was strategically planted right there at Helsha Beach, or because, or do you think that container really washed up? Let's go on with the respecter on that one first. What's your thought on that, the respecter? Go ahead, the respecter. We can hear you.
Yeah, it was planted. It
Yeah.
was planted. If that was dropped from a helicopter, it would have sunk. It was planted.
But I don't think they said it was dropped from a helicopter. It was being
No,
um,
it
migrated from one country to another country.
It washed up on land.
But I think such a huge container would have sunk. No?
Yeah, it would have sunk.
not necessarily.
Fairly.
Not in the ocean. Not necessarily. The ocean, the current is very strong and that can move anything. Those currents. So I mean, the thing is that this pops up on Elcher Beach. That's where this in Portmore. And what happened is a lot of these residents they started chicken. The most of the ones I've read, they said the chicken were frozen. But then I'm wondering, was it a freezer they were in? It just says a container. It didn't say if it was a freezer container. Anyway, a lot of people after eating these chicken, they became sick, and um, they're saying Perdex. That's the name of the chicken label, Perdex.
Wait,
And Perdex,
I'm going to
what
interrupt you
company
real
is
quick.
that?
Queen,
You want to know
Purdue.
which company
Queen,
that is?
Queen,
Yeah,
I need to interrupt you real quick. Uh,
yeah.
where did you read that anyone became sick from eating? Because everything that I've been seeing and reading, persons
I
are
thought
eating.
I'd send you all. That was a clip that I sent you guys. It was from the what they call it, the international news or what have you,
The
and
government
that's what
said
they
that
were
we can't
saying because
eat sick.
I saw quite a bit from bloggers and what have you, but that is like where they report things all over the world. It's a station, channel that reports things that's occurring
Okay.
over the world, especially the Caribbean. So it's more like a Caribbean news.
I directly spoke with individuals in Portmore. I
Okay.
directly spoke with individuals, and not just one or two persons in that area. And no one has gotten sick, but we know that definitely it's a possibility that something will and can happen. Um, a lot of persons in the area feels that it's something that was planted in the area. Um, there was no locks on the container, and for a container such as that, especially traveling from one country to the next, should have had locks. It was stated that it was a refrigerated um,
Mm.
container, not just a regular container. It was stated it was refrigerated, and that not one of the chicken in there was frozen.
Mhm.
Um,
They said it fell off of a ship that was going from the Cayman Islands to Brazil.
to Brazil, and then it was also stated that you know um, it just that where that container fell off on from, it should not have reached in that particular location of Elsha Beach. So leaves them to feel that it was planted there, and they're waiting to see what the outcome is of the people whom are eating it. But a lot of persons that I've spoke with said that they will not be eating chicken for quite some time because a lot of person got a lot of boxes, and to make some money, they will go and sell them
Sell it.
to
Sell it.
the stores, and the store people will buy them because right now chicken is $3.50 per pound in Jamaica. So
But
it's
even the Jamaican health organization, they're warning people
yeah,
not to eat it.
but hungry belly, and I'm just praying that everyone will be okay.
Exactly.
Let's taking it. Let us take
That's it.
it. You want to
That's
touch it, then the Respecta, and then Mama Acid, then Michelle.
Yeah.
Noni, no, Mama Acid.
I'm I'm thinking it's
I
quite
wanted to just laugh about it.
Wait a minute, Noni's answering. Wait a minute, Mama Acid. Noni's answering. Go ahead, Noni, with yours.
no, I was just saying it's quite odd for something like that to happen. You
Yeah,
know, you know, how could something like that happen? And it wasn't securely placed where it was supposed to be. I mean, this is edible,
yeah,
chicken is, and especially, the people, in that area, depend on, I guess, the transportation of it. So I just think it's odd, and it was just unsafely moved.
mhm,
So that has to be investigated more.
yeah. And if persons know how containers are shipped, they're normally locked together. So how can just one container be
It,
dropped? What
it could
happened?
have
Right.
flew open in the water, because it's traveling. They said right from one place to. It could have flew open with the force of the water. Who knows? I mean,
Excuse me.
I'm just
We gonna
saying. You know what I mean? It's suspicious, but
we gonna
I'm just saying.
all right. Mama asked, did you want to comment? Then the respecter, then Michelle, then you come back, Queen.
Okay, just something short. Remember about 10 years ago when they opened the freezer and they found all the chicken back frozen? Lady D? She left us, y'all. She left us by ourselves.
There she goes.
I apologize. I had a coughing thing going on. I had to.
Oh,
Are you laughing about the chicken back?
No. What you
Do
say?
you remember that?
No.
Okay, about 10 years ago when we were talking about them finding the chicken back in the freezer of broilers. Chicken back had been there for 10 years. It was shipped by the U.S. government. It was supposed to be used for dog food, and they had shipped it to Jamaica. And we're trying to sell it.
Uh
Okay, so I was getting ready to say this happened on the 3rd of April. That was right after. Okay, y'all, don't get mad. I'm getting ready to say it. That was right after Marco Rubio came to Jamaica, and maybe he just left a little chicken.
Go ahead, the respecter. Let's not listen to my ass. Let me mute her right. The respecter, go ahead, please.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead, the respecter. Now you're gonna sit there and wait for me to unmute you. You know it's your situation that's going on your
Not
side.
me.
So once you fix the situation on your side, then I will have to mute you. Yeah,
It's
go
not.
ahead. Go ahead, respecter.
You know that it was planted, and that container is not floatable. Queen, it's not floatable.
No.
It's not a barrel that is floatable. It's a container that is made by wood. Desperate for food, so they have no other choice but to do what they did.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's wicked, evil, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Michelle.
Hey, yeah. So I see the article and how they talked about it was supposed to go to Cayman Islands, but instead it landed in Jamaica. And then they talked about the temperature because it's supposed to be kept frozen with the crystals around it. So thawing
Uh,
out already, it gets the bacteria. Then they said in the seawater, bacteria. So it's just so much around it that can just make them ill before they even get to their mouths. And
Yeah.
even you can't rinse off all of that. So it just seems so strange how this one can just wandered off and all the other containers, this one container, yeah, and it's supposed to go to Cayman Islands. Like that's way off. It's not like if it's Cuba or Haiti or something like that,
so,
So I guess a little further out. So
so
I'm
you
just
think
saying,
they trying to kill off some of the Jamaicans, or they trying to put something out there that can affect the
maybe
population, or
it's it. You're right. It's possible, especially since they're trying to take over all the beaches, and then the natives are fighting. They want some beaches, public beaches. Who knows? Quiet them down, right? It's sad.
Mama Acid may have hit something there, Queen. Mama
mm.
Acid, you think Rubio sent that?
Why else? I mean, he didn't cook it. He's in a hurry everywhere he goes. He always leaving stuff. He left his wife in. Okay, he left his wife in Florida. I don't know if y'all know they was on vacation, and he got a call, and he got on a plane and left his wife at the resort in Florida and went to DC and did not even remember that he left his wife.
We needed to get a little joke in there. Queen, your thought on it. Queen, your thought on it.
It it is a joke, and really and true for that to happen, and not just that, but I'm looking at the label on the chicken package. It said Perdex, and it says griller, so it's a griller chicken. And I'm looking and I'm saying, my God, I would not do that. I mean, something wash up out of the sea like that. It's not, and it's not a fish. Nah, I wouldn't take that chance. But like you said, lady, people are hungry, and that's the opportunity for them to get some free meat. So they
Yeah.
jumped at it.
Yep.
Um,
I thought
and that's it.
I talked to a couple of persons who said, "Listen, Lady
Yeah.
B, it's thank God it's Lent. It's strictly fish we are dealing with for the next couple of months." And it says no chicken whatsoever, strictly chicken. I'm like, I mean, strictly fish. So I'm like, but it's a dangerous thing, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping that our people in Jamaica really, take heed as to what they're doing.
And yeah, don't be so gullible. I mean,
We
yeah.
have the bird flu epidemic. We have all of these things going on, so it's not a good time for them to venture into this. And I think I really maybe it's not because we hear is always conspiracy theorists. But I'm just hoping that really, really, um, a lot of persons don't die from this or get seriously ill from this. The respect wanted to say something.
Yeah, Queen, I'm not agreeing. I mean, desperation make you do. You know better, but
Mhm.
desperation,
True, too.
starvation, people
Yeah.
True.
in right position.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
That's true. I agree.
Mm.
Yeah, it's desperation.
Can I
But
tell you a true story?
go ahead.
I remember back in Jamaica, around 6, 7, 8 years old, growing up. One of the most evil thing Hurry did, they would bring the dump into our community. And looking back, we used to dig through it for food. And my father wasn't a good job. I don't know how we end up being one of those digging through garbage food. Brothers and sisters in America, I live a life that I should hate people in my family, but I don't. But when you're young and you don't know better, you see others doing it, you're going to do it too. Even when you're not in the need of it, you're going to follow suit. So it's basically the same situation. We don't know what position that area is in as far as food is concerned.
Yeah.
It's
Food insecurity is a serious thing.
Very serious.
Right.
Yeah.
it's serious. So I'm just all we can do, I guess, is just pray that the ones who are eating this and the people whom they're going to sell it to that are going to buy it,
Mhm.
because we're not hearing anything being returned. We're not hearing that anyone is returning any chicken or anything like that. They're all being consumed. So we pray that they are going to be all right. Um, we got a call on the line.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. You had called earlier. We were listening, but it was like you didn't hear us.
I don't know. I got cut off. I don't know.
No, I did cut you off because we kept hearing the feedback one after
Yeah.
Oh,
saying
oh, oh,
hello,
okay,
saying
okay,
hello,
okay.
saying
Yeah.
hello. Yeah, so greetings
Well,
to
yeah, I
you.
was just listening to this topic about the chicken that washed up on the beach in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I remember I had gotten poisoned at Hellshire Beach, and it was from fish, right? I might have been maybe 11, 12 years old. But yeah, so I speak about these things because there's some sort of sacrifice going on wherein yes, I do believe that they're trying to delete Jamaicans, and it's something that's more than what meets the eye, because I was even speaking about the garbage cans here and how they want us to do composting, but it's the symbol that's on the garbage can is of our anatomy. So you can pretty much see that it's a symbolic sacrifice. So this is a worldwide thing. It's something that's global. It's a war on people. Okay, so that's just what it is all about. It's not, people must come to the realization it is just not human beings that is on this planet. So it's definitely some other beings that is trying to depopulate human beings.
Hello? Hello? Okay. Um well, Donna feels that people are trying to populate, other beings are trying to populate. I don't know if that has anything to do with the chicken, but Donna, you can call us back. Miss you right there, but yeah, it is a tragedy what's going on, and I'm just hoping that all of the Jamaicans, all the people in Jamaica. Yeah, Donna, I'm sorry. What
Yeah, no, no
so
problem. Yeah. So the
yeah,
thing is that, yeah, sorry. Well, actually, I don't know how I got cut off like that, but
we're getting feedbacks.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it is a sacrifice. You're trying to. I mean, we have this discussion on that's my opinion on pretty much all of your shows when I make my comments that is some other worldly beings that are
In
trying to
regards
depopulate
to
human
in
beings.
regards to a container full of frozen chicken, I don't think that has anything to do with a worldly being.
And
That is something that is the respect to you were saying something.
I was trying to let her know that, honestly speaking, the aliens she's talking about just hung the phone upon her.
that they what? What? Say it again. Say that again.
Well, we know they're controlling the airwaves. We've been talking about this,
Yeah.
Oh my God. The respect to you are a mess. You are a mess. Listen, we have to go. We're ready to get up on out of the air chair. And we have to get up on out of the air chair. That was a funny one, the
I,
respecter. The respecter,
I
that
didn't
was
get
a
that.
funny one.
I'm getting cut off. What did you say, Respecter?
Alien keep cutting you off.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. So
The alien is sick of Donna. The alien is sick of Donna calling them out. The aliens want her to be quiet and stop calling them out. They're sick of you calling them out, Donna. I
no,
think
but the
that's what's
thing is
going
that I
on
have
here.
to. Who's gonna defend the people? So I have to defend the people when I. Yeah, I have to defend the people. Come on now. So that's exactly what I'm speaking about. So, this is something
They cut you off.
it's not. It didn't just happen. It wasn't
Okay.
a
All right.
coincidence
All right.
that occurred. You're
Okay.
doing something, and
Okay.
like I say on the garbage can, you have.
So we're going to get ready to get off of the air chair. Love you all. You all, starting from top to bottom, you all want to go on and say your arrivedercis to the audience. Donna, you got a glitch in your phone, baby love. Donna, you have a glitch with your phone. Something's going on with your phone line. But go ahead, Michelle. You want to say arrivederci to the listening audience?
All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night, listeners and fellow people on the panel. It was a pleasure this evening. It was live. So much going on, busy. I'm very excited. I was happy to be here tonight. And thank you.
Yes.
Good night.
It was awesome having you. Queen.
Yeah, night. This was interesting. It was very well, put out there. So take heed. I mean, remember, you can call your Congress folks and let them understand that you don't like what's going on, and we need changes, or we won't vote for them. Next term. So we need to do that. So peace out. Remember, hit us up on all the channels and press that like button, that thumb up button. Love you guys. See you next week. Arrivederci.
The respecter.
Peace alone.
You gave me the best laugh tonight, the respecter. Go ahead.
Peace alone.
Donna having issues with her phone, huh?
Peace alone.
Fish alone. Fish alone. That's what we're talking about. Fish alone.
Yeah.
Noni.
Yes, I just want to thank everybody for listening in on all the social media platforms. And just want to say, make sure you definitely like this and continue to listen in and tune in. We're always going to have great topics. Thanks for all of you who commented tonight. We really appreciate all the feedback and the comments. And I just wanted to say it was great sharing with everyone tonight, listening in, as well as to your wonderful comments and your reasoning. See you next week. Peace and love.
All right. Queen. Mama Asid.
Well, I'll be queen too.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
Bless
are.
your heart, baby. I love you.
I'll share it with you.
Look,
See what I'm saying?
I think we have a lot of heavy topics today. We need to have some light topics, people. I keep telling you all that. We have to have jokes. Like
I'm gonna send some. I'm gonna
I
send
do
some.
like that.
I'll send you.
I do. Yeah, let's have some jokes. Okay, so I'll have the last joke.
We getting off the air. We have 2 minutes. What's
Right.
up? What's
That's true,
Our
right?
joke is our governor, Gretchen Whitmer, going up to D.C. and sitting in the White House with 47 and saying that she agrees with his tariffs in hopes that it puts America back to work and that people start building factories and things because she wants to run for president. So I just want to say, everybody out here, if you have any crazy ideas, now is the time to get them out. And for those who don't know, I still want to be a weather lady. Hope to see you next week. And until then, nothing but sunshine.
all right? She wants to be okay. I don't know about if you're gonna give the right forecast, but blessings to you, blessings, man. It was fantabulous as usual. And next week we're gonna have some. I have to apologize to Permet with the question that was sent in. I can't find it for nothing in the world, and it was a funny one that would have streaked a hot conversation. So I'm gonna try to find it for next week. And once I do, then trust me, it's all like a bag of popcorn. Next week we're gonna be touching um, Pastor. I'm not sure. Jay had put something in regards to Pastor. I'm not sure what's going on with Jay's line. She's having difficulty. I think the aliens are eating up the telephone line. The telephone.
Well, lady,
You don't know
well,
what
lady,
they do.
do you hear those thunder? Do you hear those thunders that's going off
Rebuke,
out there?
rebuke it. Rebuke,
Ah,
rebuke those spirits.
You know what I'm saying? Though? We have to rebuke something's going on over here. Donna, the respecter, you had a good insight tonight. Because Donna called back 4 times and the phone disconnected. And then Jai tried how many times and she got disconnected. So I guess the energies in the work that somebody what needs that won't be talked about don't need to be talked about. So it's all a good thing, man. Let me tell you, we have a fantabulous panel here, and I'm loving you all and I'm enjoying each and every um, Thursdays with you all. And I hope we all continue to come back each and every Thursday. Michelle, it's always a blessing to have you. You know, energies. Noni the juice. You know, it's always.
Yeah, yes. It's always juicy. Hey,
You done said
Lady D, I meant to ask you, do we ever do the when are we gonna do about the pastor who locked the doors, collecting the money? That's a good one.
Okay,
Oh boy.
that one. Let's touch that one next week. Okay.
Ooh, okay, next week.
Next week, I'm gonna put this down.
Thank you, Lady D, for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Noni,
Michelle,
Yeah.
you embedded. Michelle, no opportunity. You're embedded up in here. So we're gonna see you next week. As well, the same way we recruited Noni, we need a man up in that. We need another man up in the house
I'm
to
sitting
help
up.
the respecter.
hey,
Another man to help the respecter up in here. Um, blessings, blessings. Let me see. So we have some blessed night to you, Myra. Love you so much. Thank you for
nice.
even if we seem to have gotten a little off track here. We thank you for rides it with us, Myra. You stick with us for
Love you, Myra.
Donna, trust me, it was the works of the alien. Trust me. Okay. So next week, you all. Same time, same place, same station. Go over to that YouTube channel, like, subscribe, get notified, and invite. Don't keep us to yourself. Invite. Tell your friends, your family members, your colleagues, even who you feel like you. Tell them come on over here. Yeah. All righty. So blessings. Be sure to join me Saturday for the Lady D show. I'm gonna have Errol Moore on. Errol Moore is gonna be shooting a video at the Black Wall Street on the 21st of this month. And he called and says, Lady D, um, he's asking me to put it out there and to get as much ladies over there for him as possible. So he's going to be joining me Saturday as well. And I think everyone knows Errol. He's a part of the Atlanta Jerk Festival. Um, he's a very seasoned artist. He's been here in the Atlanta community for about the last 30 years doing up his thing. He was a great band member. With the Sagittarius band, and he does his stuff, but he's a well known, and he's doing a big music video on the 21st at 6 p.m. over at the Black Wall Street in Stonecrest. So for all of the women out there and men, because he said, he's looking for at least 50 people to participate in this video, his video shoot for his new single that is out. So I'm just putting it out there. If you're free and you can come on out, make sure the 21st of this month, 6 p.m. Come on out and support. Get your face in that video. Okay?
Don't forget about Charger.
Oh, DJ Charger. I'm trying to pull up all the events that are going on tonight as well. Oh my God, DJ Sound.
The lady.
Tonight as well. What you said, the Respecter?
Easter Sunday in Union City. That flyer.
Easter Sunday in Union City. Before we even do that, we have tonight Conyers Caribbean Thursdays at Elevation, 1180 Sigmund Road in Conyers. Go on out there. It's Bunny Wailer's birthday today, and I guess they're going to be celebrating that as well tonight. Union City is going to be off the chain. That's on April 20th. That's going to be off the chain. I'm pulling up that information as well. The Respect, you have to send them to me. You have I interviewed Mega Shock last week. He's one of them that's going to be on the ticket. The Respecter is going to be on the ticket, and it's for the April 20th. I'm going to have that address. The Respect, you have the address in front of you on that one there. Charger, if you still tune in, if you could send me that so that I can definitely tell the masses on it. The Respect, do you have that?
No, I'm not the address. The unknown address.
Okay, I found it. 420 Outdoor Celebration, Bungalow Island, ATL 4215 Roosevelt Highway in Union City. All right. So make sure that you come on out Sunday, April the 20th. That's that 2020 time. Yeah. So they're doing that celebration out there, the 420 celebration. That's 4215 Roosevelt Highway in Union City, Bungalow Islands, ATL. All right. And also there's going to be the DJ Marathon that's going to be taking place. The Radiothon on YouTube's radio, also here on the Powerhouse Radio, taking place Thursday, May the 1st. All righty, so we're going to have more information on that coming up. But that's all the announcements right there. Happy birthday to you, Tonya. Happy birthday, Jashima. Birthday, happy birthday to each and everyone that is celebrating a birthday. RIP, my uncle, happy birthday to you as well. So blessings upon blessings upon blessings to each and everyone. You all have a blessed night. Thank you all for joining us. And once again, just share, and spread the word. All righty, spread the word.
We will. Thank you, Lady D. Everybody have a good night.
Yes, we will. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Michelle. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.